Well, welcome back. This is Educators. My name is Isaac. So this is a lesson 2. So previously on our lesson 1, we learned about stores management and store control. So what we learned about our previous lesson, we are just asking ourselves what is materials management. We also learned about the scope of materials management. We also learned about maybe the relationship between materials management and other departments. So today, this is our lesson 2. So our objectives for today, we are going to learn about storekeeping. We're also going to learn about the objectives of storekeeping. We're also going to learn about the functions of storekeeping, factors underlying successful storekeeping, and lastly, we are going to discuss more about benefits of efficient storekeeping. So we want to ask ourselves, what is storekeeping? So storekeeping basically refers to the safe custody for all the materials in the storeroom in a systematic manner. So when you refer to custody, maybe you are when you talk about custody, it is a word maybe which can be further being explained as a custodian. When you say that you are a custodian of something, it means that you are responsible for maintaining something. Maybe you own it, or maybe you have just been given the responsibility for that good, for you to maintain it, and to keep it safe. So that basically involves the storekeeping. It refers just to the safe custody for all the materials in the storeroom in a systematic manner. So you are going to look at the objectives of storekeeping. So what are some of the objectives of storekeeping? So when you talk about the objectives, these are the aims of storekeeping. So one of the aim is minimizing the cost of production. We also have providing efficient service. We also have establishing coordination and also advising the management. So when you talk about advising the management, you see, in a storekeeping, when you are dealing with storekeeping, you look at maybe even as a storekeeper. The storekeeper is the one who keeps maybe the store. So you have to advise the maybe the governing directors or the management, maybe on the type of goods that they have to replenish, or maybe there are some goods that require maybe critical handling. So they have to advise the management maybe to come up with some equipment, with some advanced equipment, maybe for them to maintain the goods so that the goods may not be damaged. And also when you see, when the goods are damaged, it means that they even lose their value. So it is the work of the store to advise the management. So we are also going to learn about the functions of storekeeping. So what are some of the functions of storekeeping? One of the functions of storekeeping is receiving materials in the store. So for instance, when the procurement entity or the procurement department has procured goods maybe from a source, it have to ensure that the goods are transported to the business premises or the factory premises. So once the good has reached to the business premises, it is the work of the store to receive the materials in the store. So what are some of the things that the store has to do when they are receiving the materials? They have to ensure that the good delivery note it's right. They have to ensure, maybe if the goods delivery note has indicated that there are 36 cartons, they have to ensure that there are 36 cartons. So that is the work of the store on receiving materials in the store. So next function, you have the storage and preservation. So they have to, maybe when the goods have arrived there in the store, they have already received them, it is their work to store. So when they are storing, they have to ensure that the goods are maybe stored in a right manner so that the goods may not be damaged. You see, when the goods are damaged, it means that they will even lose their value. So they have to ensure that the goods are stored very well. And they also have to ensure that they are preserved. You see, we have some goods that are they are highly perishable, so they have to ensure that they are preserved. We also have record keeping on materials in the store. So they have to ensure, if you have received 36 cartons, you have to record that you have received 36 cartons. And maybe if these materials, maybe they are materials which are used maybe on a daily basis, so they have to keep the records. Maybe this item was picked up maybe in the morning, it has been returned maybe in the evening. They have to ensure that they are record keeping in the material store, in the store. So we also have another function, that is issuing of materials. So it is the work of the store to issue the materials. For example, maybe in a company we have different sectors. Maybe you have maybe there are some equipments that are used on daily basis. So it is the work of the store to issue the goods. Maybe they can issue them in the morning, and then the goods are returned in the evening. So that is the work of the store to issue materials. So what are the factors when you talk about a store? What are the factors underlying to the success of a store? So factors underlying successful storekeeping. So we are going to discuss on maybe what are some of the factors that lead to the success of a storekeeping. One thing, they have to consider the location of the store. This means that the store should be centrally located so as to ease the on accessibility. So for example, if you have started a company, or this is maybe a company, you have to ensure that the store it is centrally located. It means that maybe if there are several departments, they will be able to access the store on very easily, and this will lead maybe even to time saving. They will also lead maybe to efficient transportation of the goods. You also have to consider the layout of the store. So when you talk about the layout, we are talking about the appearance of the store. So when you're talking about the layout, the store should be free from congestion to avoid wastage of time when locating items. So we have to ensure that the goods are not congested. They are stored very well so that we can avoid on wastage on time. Maybe when you're located items, you see when the store is very congested, we don't even know where maybe the item that you're looking for, where it is based on. So you'll have to waste a lot of time when you're trying to locate that item. So the layout should be, there should be no congestion. So you also have to look, there should be proper record keeping. So when you talk about proper record keeping, we mean that if the goods have been supplied into the company or into the store, they have to ensure that we have received these items and this is the flow of the item. So when you're talking about proper record keeping, it means that up to date and complete records should be maintained, and that is the work of the storekeeper to do this. So there should be support of the management. So the management from all levels should ensure support for proper record keeping. It doesn't matter if you are the director or the manager of the company. You have to support the store. It doesn't mean just because you are a director or you are a manager, you can come and just pick up something you have not even recorded. Just because you are the manager, you just pick up the goods and maybe use it for your personal gain. You see that there will be no proper record keeping. So even if you are the director or the manager, if you have picked up something, let it be recorded as other employees do. Let it be recording, so that is basically the support by the management. There should also be verification. So this means that movement of materials in and out of the store should be recorded, and this helps in identification of fraud and wastage. You see, if it is maybe a learning institution and maybe they have these photocopy papers, it have to ensure that the movements, maybe once they have been issued with these photocopy papers, they have to ensure that they are not wasted. You see, they have to ensure that these papers are used very well. So this is when you are recording these things, you cannot come for those papers at maybe at 7 a.m. and then come at 10:30 and tell the storekeeper that maybe the facility has already been exhausted. You see, it means that they are wastage. So there should be verification. Next, there should be preservation. This means that the materials should be secured from all kinds of damage to avoid loss of quality. So when goods lose quality, it means that the value of the materials will also be low, and that will lead maybe even to low prices. So what are the benefits? What are the benefits of efficient storekeeping? We have looked about what is store, what we entail on how the store can be successful. So lastly, we are going to discuss what are some of the benefits of efficient storekeeping. One of the benefits of efficient storekeeping is that there is easier identification of materials in the store. Hence, it reduces on delay and confusion. As you have said that one of the characteristics of a good store is that it should have no congestion. So if the store is well arranged, you see, you'll also, if maybe even the store, maybe the goods are coded, they are proper codification, it means that even when you are locating the item, there will be no delay or even confusion. So our second point, it facilitates smooth running of the whole organization. So when you have a good store that is efficiently maintained, so even the various departments, when they require the goods, they will get the goods at instant. So this will lead to smooth running of the whole organization. So it also reduces the problem of holding too much working capital in the stock. So when you talk about the working capital, it means that, okay, when you have efficient storekeeping, we'll store just the required goods that we want to use maybe on a certain period. You don't have to keep maybe surplus goods, maybe even they are not being used. That will just hold the working capital on the stock, and you'll not be even having the cash. Yes, we'll be having too much capital, but the too much capital will be held on the stock. So efficient storekeeping will reduce the problem of holding too much working capital in the stock. It also facilitates proper record keeping. So if you have efficient storekeeping, you also maintain proper records. You see, if the goods have been picked from maybe from now, maybe they have been returned. This is how the goods have been. This is the flow of the goods and services. This is the flow of the goods. So that facilitates proper record keeping. It also encourages physical verification. When we talk about physical verification, as the word states, physical, we have to ensure that maybe even you are physically identify that the goods are there. You see, because there is efficient storekeeping, you have to know that maybe if you had 20 boxes maybe today at 7 a.m., maybe at 10 a.m., you will know that maybe there are 15 boxes. You have to ensure that is physical verification. You have to know that 5 boxes has been taken. So there no way there will be no fraud or corruption when you have efficient storekeeping. Lastly, it helps to avoid stock out and understocking. When we talk about stock out, this is where maybe goods have exhausted and maybe the company is still running. That is stock out. And also understocking. This means that there is less than what is needed. That is understocking. You have to ensure that when you have efficient storekeeping, you'll be having maybe the required goods, and we'll be having the required stock. So that marks the end of this lesson. So I hope this lesson was of benefit to you. Today we are learning about storekeeping. Today you have learned about what is storekeeping. You have explained basically what is storekeeping. You also learned about the objectives of storekeeping. Objective can also be the aims. You have also learned about function of storekeeping, factors underlying successful storekeeping. Lastly, you have learned about benefits of efficient storekeeping. Thank you very much for watching this video tutorial. I hope it was of benefit to you. Thank you.